Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, and this is your Cannabis Business Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about Joe Rogan, a couple comments he made about CBD. On the line with us is Dan Kimmis, our CBD correspondent with Good CBD Products.
I'm here. Boy, am I here. I'm so here, Karnik. Boy, am I here.
So I left in the dogs barking and the airplane background noise as artistic impression on this video. So it is fair use rights, but I kind of wanted to talk about his Joe Rogan's first comment, which is about CBD being one of the best things he's ever tried for anxiety. So let me play this clip and then we'll chat about it.
I think it's one of the best things I've ever tried for anxiety. It's weird, and I didn't even know I had anxiety until I started taking CBD.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. I'm running a test right now with one of our latest interview subjects products, right? Where I took some zone-in CBD to a pal who's suffering from some severe depression and anxiety. Okay. And, it's a week later and it seems to be working. Okay. And again, I'm not making a claim. I want to be clear. Seems to be, and I don't know, and it's not me. Okay. And at the same time, I'm stunned. I'm truly stunned. Hemp-derived, well measured, all, a professional level thing. And my gosh, it's like flipping a switch. This individual's actually stable and active and on a, basically just a daily regime. Yeah, I'm stunned. So way to go, Joe Rogan. I agree.
Well, let's flip the coin for a second and talk about how he says that 1-to-1 ratio is not functional. So listen to this clip.
Jammies. This is 1 and 1. This is 1 part CBD. You will get nervous. You're gonna get paranoid. But it's a weird, like the CBD THC high is a different high because CBD does something to alleviate anxiety. This is not like this is not functional. Like I don't do this if I have anything super important to do. But
so I find that interesting. He says a 1-to-1 THC to CBD ratio is great, but it's not functional.
Yeah, personally, I would say, physiology and, your system relative to my system. And so that's a judgment call to me. That said, one of the things, in my story, it is hemp derived and it's a super low, it's 0.3 or less. And I think it's actually ND, non-detectable in the product that we're talking about. And this is where, again, I've heard from you and from others, geez, in order to really see the entourage effect, you got to have some in there, some THC. All said, I'm not sure. I'm microdata, as you know. I'm not macro data, but in my very small sampling of testing, I'm really stunned. I've seen some amazing things from just straight up whole plant CBD.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a moment when Joe Rogan talks about straight CBD at the very end, but I find that the 1-to-1 being non-functional, he doesn't actually say, whether it's 100 milligrams or 1,000 milligrams. There's a difference between alcohol by volume, and the same thing applies here. But in my opinion, the 1-to-1 CBD to THC ratio is going to be the next big boom. I think that there's a euphoric, energetic, uplifting effect, very much like coffee without the decline or dip in energy. And so if done right, if properly dosed, I think that 1-to-1, the THC to CBD ratio is going to be a huge product seller in the next couple of years. So listen to Joe's next clip.
But just CBD oil, I just find it puts you in a great place. Okay,
but internal, not topical.
Internal, yeah, topical is really good for muscle aches. It's really good. Really, probably the best thing I've ever found for like alleviating soreness and stiffness and stuff like that.
So he talks about straight CBD oil being effective, but says that it's probably the best thing he's ever found. Back to the entourage effect, that you do need some THC in order to bring that CBD into CBD or the CB1, CB2 receptor cells. Otherwise, it's just kind of floating around at the top, and you're not fully utilizing all of the CBD. But for him, it's the best thing he's ever found for alleviating soreness and stiffness.
Well, I've become a user, personally. Again, over time in the beginning, when I first started in the cannabis industry, I thought medical use was people just wanting to get high, chronic. And so I think like a lot of people, especially if you're doing media and you're contacting a lot of people, you get to a point where you cannot deny the stories. And again, I got to tell you, rarely, truly, very rare do I hear somebody say something like, yeah, I tried it and it didn't work for me. Now, I've heard it a few times, no doubt. But again, the bulk of what I hear is, well, I tried it and it's been, and it's changed my life. And again, everything from people literally still just dumbfounded, right? To other people, just like, I guess we'll say, well, yeah, what did you expect, right? So it's been quite a journey.
Yeah, I think migraines probably are the one thing I'd like to learn a little bit more of how cannabis can help that, or some of the cannabinoids can help with that. So if anybody has some experience with not just anxiety, but as well as, other issues, definitely like to hear about it in the comments. And then the last thing I thought was more of a public service announcement was ibuprofen and its effects on the gut biome. So take a listen to this clip.
I was in Europe, all of a sudden discovered that they actually had ibuprofen cream.
They're really, really bad. So he gets off of it. All his pain goes away. It turned out his pain was being caused not just by the running, but by the fact that he was creating inflammation by destroying his gut biome by taking 800 milligrams of ibuprofen 2 times a day. So the idea of fixing himself was fucking him up. It's crazy.
Crazy indeed.
Well, the ongoing revelations of things you've been told for years, okay, by a system that later, when you're told, yeah, that was wrong, nobody's like, oh, mea culpa. Yeah, geez, we were deliberately misinforming you. No. Okay. Everybody's like, yeah, that was just wrong. Here's the new information. It's quite a system. Honestly, I really do start, it brings me back to this whole thing of, cannabis and hemp, they're a gateway. What they're a gateway to is all of the misinformation and the system around misinformation, because at some point, you're in a place where you have to confront that. So yeah, I love his data, brother.
No, overall it was pretty good. I think each to their own, right? Every body has a different effect, right? Everybody's body is different. I do have my own opinions about, CBD and THC ratios and CBD only. We'll see if that works out long-term or not. But ultimately, having somebody like that on our side with, the reach that he does is good. So hopefully people will find that out. I know a lot of people that have anxiety and other issues, and hopefully CBD can help them with that. Migraines, I don't know, still on the fence about that. But if anybody else has opinions, let us know in the show notes. So with that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't. And I'm out.